How's it going out there? Hey, people of the internet. We've got a special Tap Talk edition tonight. We've got buddy Dan stopped by to have some beers with us and talk about it's Cranberry Fest week here in Stone Lake. So we've got a lineup of tasty beers that we're going to be enjoying. So cheers. Hopefully you've got something to enjoy. We're doing a little passing of the torch right now. We're sipping on what was last year's cranberry beer. The base of it, the Titletown 400 Honey Ale, which they did with cranberries. We're now enjoying a little bit of the plain version, getting ready for this year's Cranberry Fest. So welcome, Dan.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's good to be up north.
Yeah, he literally shows up, walking up in the dark, carrying a keg of beer, an undisclosed keg. I may give hints. You might be able to try it tomorrow. And we're going to be featuring Liftbridge at a tasting tomorrow night. And then, of course, Saturday, Cranberry Fest here in Stone Lake is our biggest day of the year. And you were up here, what, in the spring?
Yeah.
So we've crossed paths pretty much since just about the time you guys opened the brewery. I remember early Firkenfest at the Happy Gnome, hanging out and having different cask beers and trying all your guys' great stuff. It's been quite a journey.
Yeah, we were really into doing Firkins. Loved that festival. It was just so crazy, all the creativity and the cool beers that people were doing. So
yeah,
we got into it for sure.
It's been really cool to watch the growth of Liftbridge over the years, kind of right alongside with all the Minnesota craft beer community. You guys have been you're become now like the OGs. I mean, you got Summit and Shells, of course, that have been around for quite a while, but I mean, in the new era, I mean, you guys in Surly are kind of like a bit of the old guard. Does that feel weird?
It does feel a little weird. People are like, oh man, you've been around forever. And I guess we just had our 14th anniversary, so that's wild. A long time. See to my gray beard, I've been drinking beer for a while. But yeah, Surly was about 2 years before we started.
Right.
And then we were the newest brewery for like an entire year, which that doesn't happen anymore.
Right, I know. Now it's like you get a week.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
New brewery of the week.
Yep. Well, cool. And if anyone watching along is unfamiliar, Liftbridge is from Stillwater, Minnesota. Although now I did get this question. Mm-hmm. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, look at what we've got sliding into the frame here. Look at we've got what do you think's in that beer? It's cranberry. We've got an ultra sneak preview of this year's cranberry beer.
Cheers.
Clink. So this one is, we wanted to do something with cranberries. It's Cranberry Fest. Every year we've had a different brewery that's we've partnered with to make a cranberry beer, and this one is the base of Farm Girl, right?
Yep, and that's kind of our original recipe that we went to market with, was Farm Girl Saison. So you get a little bit of a Belgian-y hint to it, and then added some cranberry concentrate.
Cool.
And right on top of the beer, and turned a nice pink color.
Yeah, and you can definitely, I mean, you do get some of that floral kind of spicy character that Farm Girl is known for, but then it's got that nice tangy zip. But I think it's like enough that you can get it, but it's not gonna like kick your butt. You could have a bunch of these, and we're counting on that, by the way. You guys gotta come out and drink this cranberry beer, but you probably want to get here sooner rather than later, because there is only a certain amount of it. And if you want to get a little sneak preview, or if you're not able to make it on Saturday, you should come down tomorrow night, starting at 5 o'clock. We're going to be doing a tasting here, featuring the cranberry beer, as well as mystery keg that was just arrived in our cooler. I'm just going to leave it at that. You're just going to have to come down and figure it out. Let's see, what else do we got here? This is the tough thing about live. It's like, I had this idea, and then it just vanished.
Well, yeah, I mean, the other thing too, I'll just note on Liftbridge, certainly we're founded in Stillwater.
Oh, that was the question.
And then
it came back.
And then we do have a second location now in New Richmond. We took over the old Barley John space, so we have a tap room there. We also do some production there, mainly producing seltzers at that location.
Okay. That's what that was the question I got asked tonight was the beer brewed in Wisconsin or was it brewed in Minnesota?
No, in this case it was brewed in Minnesota.
Okay.
But added Wisconsin cranberries to it, so
awesome.
A little bit of a border collaboration, if you will.
Nice.
So yeah, it's I think the beer turned out really great, and people are going to be asking, what is that with that nice pink hue in the glass?
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, and people will know, and they will be excited about their cranberry beers. Okay, to people who are watching along, clearly you don't have cranberry beer in front of you, and you're probably sad about it, but hopefully you have something. So give a shout out to either if you'll be coming to Cranberry Fest or if you've been before, a highlight of any of your past visits or something you're excited about for this year. It should be a lot of fun. We're going to be, the fest generally starts about 9 a.m. I would recommend getting here a little bit early because parking can be kind of crazy and the weather's supposed to be very nice. Other things we'll have going on are the wiener dog races at noon right out front. That is just going to be it's like a wild, chaotic, hilarious, adorable situation. So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. And then the fest goes through the afternoon. And then Sunday, if you're feeling up to it, I don't know, maybe I put you on the spot here, Dan. We're hosting a 5K. So, the joke is kind of like you could sweat it out a little bit, maybe. Come do a little jog or walk in the morning. It's a fun run. It's not a diehard thing. So people are excited for some wiener dog races, some warm weather. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So we've got some Cranberry Farm Girl. All right. Since we're here, and Tap Talk is not just about totally shameless plugging all the stuff that we've got going on for the business, I figured we'd chat about a little bit of beer while we're here, because rarely does this happen that folks that we work in the beer industry, that we get to like hang out and just like enjoy beers and chat about the beers instead of just being at someone's tasting where like kind of, rubbing elbows or whatever. So I figured we'd try a couple fun things. So this one is a new one on tap for us, on our tap list from last week from Fair State. We're going to taste it a little bit. We're going to get into it. So it is, it's called Hack the Gibson, which I think is a shout out. I got a vague bit of the reference, but I was totally missing it, to 90s computer geeks. It's a reference to hackers. And it is a mosaic hop hazy IPA where they isolated the hop terpenes. Have you guys gotten into kind of messing around with some of the hop oils? Can you talk about kind of what that's all about?
Yeah, definitely familiar. So I think one of the things that you'll notice with this beer is just massive hop aroma.
Right. It's like a different level of juicy. It like smells like there's fruit in it. Like you'd think there's fruit in it, but it's just the hops.
It's just crazy. So, I mean, the one thing you want to do is make sure you just get your nose in there and check that out. But then when you taste it too, it's a nice, soft, it's not too bitter on the palate. So even people are maybe a little concerned about digging into an IPA, this is probably a good one to try out. Because you get all the nice hop aroma that you want, but not too much bitterness.
Yeah. And that's been like case in point for a lot of people who I've talked to. My dad's a perfect example. He never liked IPAs when I first started working in beer, too bitter. And now as beers have become hazy, more soft and juicy, he's like a haze fanatic.
Yeah.
He's all about it because they're not so aggressive and bitter. Really cool beer. I don't know. I get like there's some of that, like mosaics have been used in a lot of beers, so there's like a familiarity to it. But this is like a different character to it. It's almost like, I don't know. There's like a passion fruit kind of thing going on. There's something sort of tropical in there, which is
definitely like some pineapple.
Right. It's just like juicy. It's almost bizarre. Yeah. Like it is a little unique. I'm curious about where this all goes from here.
Yeah, and those terpenes are really kind of the aroma side of things and some flavor compounds,
and that's the essential, like the oils present in the hops, right?
Exactly.
Which I think that whole thing, like I can remember starting to learn more about beer and like there's alpha acids and we started learning about like that hops aren't just bitter, that you can really build off of the flavors and the aromas. And now I would say the dry hopping and the way that hops are used, it's so much pulling out all those little bits of flavor and aroma. It's just crazy what's being done.
It's really changed the world of brewing. Just used to be that bittering, and now there's a ton of aroma, and people are trying to really extract that aroma. So you get that as your nose is coming up to the glass.
Have you guys experimented with using, I mean, like the traditional usage of hops for most people, in case you're unfamiliar, for using in brewing, would be on a production scale, like pellet hops, whole cone, like compressed hops. But what are some kind of new cool things that you're seeing?
Yeah, we're seeing some different hop oils that you can add and hop extracts that one of the problems with using whole leaf hops in the dry hopping process is it creates a lot of particulate. Sure. And then when you're running through the filtering process, you end up with a lot of loss in beer. So if you can isolate and get the aroma that you're really looking for without all of the extra kind of green matter, it's really a huge win and can be more efficient with your beer.
That's cool. Yeah, it's beer science. It's really cool. So, new, fun, tasty beer. Come enjoy, sip.
Real nice.
Okay, and then our last beer. I just couldn't help it. I was like, all right, we gotta find something fun to enjoy on tap. And I just like popped into my head. So we're here with Dan Schwartz, and we found ourselves a Schwartz beer.
Cheers.
Do you mind telling us a little bit about? So this one is Kostritz. Are you familiar with this one?
I'm not familiar with the brewery, but the beer style.
Yeah. So this is kind of, I think, become sort of the classic German black lager. I think it's more of the most identifiable dark lager, like kind of the representation of the style, I think, generally speaking. But
yeah. So I mean, Schwartz is the German word for the color black, and so the black lager, you get some nice roastiness, but not over the top. And then the lager, it's a nice smooth finish. So I really like this style, not only because of the namesake.
Right. Although we've discussed that perhaps we need a Liftbridge Schwartz beer.
I keep suggesting it for some reason.
They just keep shooting you down.
Yeah. So maybe we'll convince the team to.
Right. This is going to be the tipping
beer.
point now.
Right.
This video, which will likely go viral.
Yeah, it's going to go viral. It's going to share it with all of my team, and then they're going to say, "Yeah, okay, fine, we'll finally do one."
This is the moment. Yeah, and I think I've always described this as a beer in kind of shorthand of like a dark beer for people who generally don't like dark beer, because it is a lager, so it doesn't have as rich of a body. It's very clean finishing. And it does have some roast. It's like looks darker than what it drinks. Oh yeah, we got, what was the comment on? So Ethan, who's one of our employees who just started here, used to be a brewer at Castle Danger, and he mentions that dry hopping always created an issue for centrifuging.
Yeah.
Which is spinning the beer around and basically getting all the particles out of it. Yes. Yeah, brewing it's one of those not glamorous things. Yeah. Everyone always asks, why don't we have a brewery here? You got beer, why don't you have a brewery? And it turns out there's a little bit to it. It's not by accident we don't run a brewery. Yeah. It's a lot of being a janitor.
Cleaning.
Janitor, I've kind of come up with, I think it's sort of like a janitor, a chef, and like kind of a chemist. Yeah. It's like a mix of those three things. You have to be precise, you have to be clean, and you have to be creative as well.
Yeah.
No flavors. But yeah, so another cool and interesting beer and something fun on tap. This is the perfect time of year, I feel like, for something like this too, where we get these kind of colder nights, sitting out by a little bit of a bonfire up here in the North Woods. It's a little bit crisp. We've had frost the last couple of nights. It looks like we got some good weather coming, but yeah, we're definitely dipping into the chilly fall weather now.
Yeah, this would be great around the fires or sitting out on the patio here. I mean, it's almost like a little bit of a light chocolate, like maybe even a Tootsie Roll.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like not as sweet as a Tootsie Roll, but some of those deep flavors that you get in that.
Right. A little bit roasty, but yeah, again, not like not scary. It's not a scary dark beer. Well, cool. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I am super excited for this weekend. It's sort of a crazy circus. There's a lot of people in town. If you're coming to the fest, like I said, get here early, or just plan on parking and walking a little bit down. It'll be a super fun time. We're going to have great beer outside from Lift Bridge. So in addition to the Cranberry Farm Grill, we're also going to be pouring the Oktoberfest, the Pilsner, and Hop Dish. And then inside we'll be kind of continuing with our rotating kaleidoscope of beers in here as well. So there will be no shortage of options and some good food vendors outside. And there will be a parade during the middle of the day. There will be a soapbox derby. There will be crafts. You're going to need a lot of arms and baggage to carry all of your stuff out from the fest. And maybe you'll need to carry your friends out or be the one who gets carried out as well. Plan a safe ride home. Well, cool. Well, this has been a super fun Tap Talk with a fun special guest. I'd also like to give a shout out to Dan's wife, Katie, who has been sitting here patiently watching us. I'm sure waiting to go and relax and get to the cabin and unwind. But we're so happy to have you guys up here. And if you're in town tomorrow night, come and join us from 5 to 7 for the tasting. And we look forward to seeing you. Have a happy
See you guys
Cranberry
tomorrow.
Fest.
Cheers. Thank you.